This good?
Yeah.
My name is Yonathan Moya, and I'm the founder and director of Border Perspective. I live in Minneapolis, Minnesota with my wife and son, but I didn't always. I actually grew up in a small town along the US-Mexico border called Pharr, Texas. Having the border as a backdrop to your childhood means growing up quite literally between two nations, two languages, and two cultures. To me, when I think about the border, I think first of home. But I know that that's not what everybody thinks of. Over the past few years, the southern border of the United States has taken center stage in local, national, and international news. The border has become synonymous with mass migration, the border wall, and child separation. A few years back, I found that when people ask me about home or the border, I would find myself at a loss of words. So in 2017, I, along with my brother Jordan, decided to take a 9-day journey spanning the entire length of the US-Mexico border to help answer some of my own questions I've been wrestling with about what had become one of the most controversial regions in the United States. We drove all the way from one end of the US-Mexico border to the other. We started in Brownsville, Texas, and ended in San Diego, California. Along the way we stopped, we had conversations, we listened, we talked with local residents,
So we put it up to 20 miles every day.
artists, activists, and aid workers, some with different opinions, but all intimately intertwined into the narrative of the landscape. As we went, we shared our experiences on social media so that others could learn alongside us.
Honestly, it's been great. Sorry, you guys just saw me go live in my pocket.
One day on that journey that I will never forget was spending the day with Peg Bowden. As I learned with her and watched her work, I saw Jesus in her and her team. And I began to wrestle further with what our mandate as a church on the topic of immigration should be. I began to question where the church was in all of this. Upon returning from our trip, the response we got was convicting and encouraging. I was asked to share about my experience on an immigration panel. Then my brother and I started to get asked to share our photographs and exhibits across the country. As we continued to share, we found that others were asking some of the same questions that we had been. And many had a genuine desire to understand and engage in the topic of immigration in a mindful and careful way. So we continue to share. Is that recording? Yeah. Hey guys, how's it going? Yonathan Moya here with Border Perspective. And what started out as a personal seeking journey has since turned into a ministry resource for others who are wanting to engage in some of our society's more difficult topics from a biblical perspective. Today, Border Perspective creates educational resources to help set a larger context for the ongoing conversation about the border and immigration, and we host conversations on social and biblical issues. We also offer service learning trips that intentionally place you into the lives of immigrant leaders serving families along the US and Mexico border, giving you tangible ways to get involved while gaining personal experiences to help shape your perspective on how we are to respond as the church. If you, like me, feel a stirring in your heart to broaden your perspective in a biblical way, I invite you to continue the conversation online or join us in person on one of our trips to dive deeper, have a first-hand experience, and learn how to love our neighbor the way God intended. Hope to see you soon.